What's up, guys? So I'm in the E39 BMW M5, which, as you know, was recently supercharged. I'm gonna take it to the dyno today to find out how much power it's actually making. Now, it's supposed to make 560 crank horsepower and 450 crank pound-feet of torque. So if you do 15% drivetrain loss, it's gonna post around 475 wheel horsepower, 380 wheel pound-feet of torque. But I'm not sure whether it's actually going to produce the numbers that they claim. So there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna be honest, if the car makes 400 wheel horsepower or 350, I'm gonna post it up. I might cry, but we'll see. Maybe tuning will fix that. The car is feeling really good now that it's cooler out. These cars suffer immensely from heat soak. It's like I give Z06s so much shit for that, and then I put a supercharger on my M5 and then it has heat soak for days. But now that it is 79 degrees and not insanely humid, instead of when I just got the car when it was 95 and crazy humid, the car does feel like it pulls pretty fast. Let's see what kind of numbers it puts down. Mandatory wiggle to make sure it's in neutral. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why everyone does it. But if you drive a manual, you do it. This is a long shot, but if anyone has just the lower plastic piece here that they'd want to sell me, wouldn't mind it, because I hate this glaring scratch that actually came with the car when I bought it. I don't think I've ever driven without clicking both of these buttons. Mandatory in an E39 M5. Alright, we're outside of Boost Control Performance in Livonia, Michigan. They're hooking me up with a dyno run. Let's see what kind of numbers this thing puts down. Got the dyno jet, looking up the wheelbase. All right, so we got Alex from BCP here. For people who don't know much about dynos, what do you have to do to set up a rear-wheel drive car? I know you had to expose the coil packs to get an RPM reading.
Yeah, we just want to get the drive wheels over the rear roller because that's how we're going to measure power. The front wheels obviously don't have to spin, so we can strap those stationary. And then with all dyno jets, we have to get a spark reading, so we get an RPM pickup off of one of the coil packs. And on these cars, we have to remove a little bit the covers and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How do you know how many fans to use? The more the better?
We want as much airflow as we can get.
Gotcha.
Obviously going down the road at 100 miles an hour, we're not going to be able to replicate that, but we want to get as much airflow as possible and then let the car cool off in between runs so that we can get maximum horsepower readings.
Cool. And then how many runs do you normally do?
For power flows, generally 1 to 3 will get the job done. A cool down in between will give us an idea of how much the car makes when it's hot and then cooled down, and we'll get a good weighted average between 2 or 3 runs.
Let's see what she does. Got the fans running, it's all hooked up. Gonna do a slow pull, make sure everything's secured properly.
My personal vehicle, it's a 2007 335i, stock motor, 130,000 miles, 802 wheel horsepower. We quickly realized that the engine at that power level is getting under a little bit of stress. So we're making a few changes inside. We're putting a closed deck, motive, engine block in it, CP Carrillo internals, and we're hoping to max out the turbo, probably about 950 wheel horsepower.
So you took the twin turbo setup off and you put 1 turbo on it?
Yeah, the stock twins are limited to about 500 wheel horsepower depending on what fuel you're running. And with a motive single system, you're able to make 802. And you know, you can run it at lower power if you want, 600, 700, 800, but it gives you that range. We've got our BCP Colossal intercooler up front. It's cool. Called Colossal for a very specific reason. But yeah, we pull the motor right out the bottom. That seems to work best when you have access to a hoist and a work table and everything.
Yep.
Also gives you a chance to power wash the subframe. We're pretty proud of what we've done with it though, especially with the mileage that it has on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna add a boost gauge to the blow-off valve so we can see how much boost is running. We're gonna go for round 2. Now we got a boost gauge hooked up. Looking better, 383 pound-feet of torque, 449 horsepower.
You're probably familiar with this one.
Yep.
I'll put it on really good stuff.
Holy shit.
It's a little messy right now. Didn't have a chance to detail it, but it has an accelerated built 3.4 liter engine.
Oh my god.
It's got an 82 millimeter turbo. Made 1,204 wheel horsepower with a little bit of wheel spin on our dyno. So we estimate that to be slightly higher, but that's the number that we got out of it at 42 PSI. That's on E85 pump gas. This car has an AEM Infinity 10 ECU, so it's got all the bells and whistles, boost by gear, traction control. This is you know, the epitome of a fully built Supra right here. Inside, one of the coolest features of this car is we've got a boost select switch inside. So if you just look right in there, he's got that knob right next to him. So when he's driving at any time, he can wick the power up from about 850 all the way to 1,200 wheel horsepower. He's not going to be putting down 1,200 with these wheels and tires, but
yep,
we've got some drag set up and coming.
Poor
soon.
roof.
Yeah, it came up, I guess. I wasn't around for it.
Damn.
This is actually one of the Detroit Lions cars. You probably know what I'm talking about. But we're doing a few minor upgrades on this car. I don't know how much he's trying to put out there, but we're going to try and really push the stock engine to the limits.
Cool.
And then we're going to, you know, continue from there if something goes wrong.
Isn't the stock transmission limited to like 650 pound-feet of torque or something like that?
Yeah, and what we're going to do
Lionzilla,
to
that's
retain
funny.
that safety factor along with the engine is to keep the torque down.
Yep.
Many people know that horsepower is a calculation of torque and RPM. So we're going to try and keep the torque flatlined on this thing and see how much power we can make out towards red line so we don't bend any rods or hurt the transmission. Just a couple of LS cars over here. Both of them are blown. The bottom one is twin turbo, the top one is supercharged.
Nice.
It's no surprise to get 7, sometimes 800 wheel horsepower out of an LS3 with some boost on it and good fuel. All in stock ECU too.
That's crazy. And transmission?
Oh yeah. Yeah, stock automatic and manual seem to hold up. The 6L80 can get a little upset depending on what you're doing with it at those power levels, but hey, it can't be perfect, right?
tested 4 dyno poles, the best of which were the last 2. Let's go ahead and check out the data. We got, now this is wheel horsepower and torque, so 470 wheel horsepower, actually 472.8 was the highest, and then 402 pound-feet of torque. When I just got the car, it was really, really hot and really humid. When I said just got the car, I mean just got the supercharger installed. And according to the forums, this car does terrible in high heat and humidity. I mean, that's characteristic of supercharged cars. But now that it's cooler out, obviously we've got some fans blowing, put down some pretty decent numbers. I'm happy with it. If you do drivetrain conversion, it's about where it should be, what the manufacturer has claimed. Now we just have to take it to the drag strip and see what you can run on the quarter mile. So there you have it. That's how fast my ESS supercharged BMW M5 is. 473 wheel horsepower was the highest, and 402 pound-feet of torque was also the highest rating. Take whatever you want from that. I'm pretty pleased. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Special thanks to Boost Control Performance in Livonia, Michigan for making this happen, squeezing me in last minute. See you next video.